All right, I f***ed up. For over 20 years in business, ever since I left being an attorney, I've been telling entrepreneurs and business owners, just like you, the first and most important hire you can make is an executive assistant. And I didn't follow my own advice. Let me tell you the story. Let me share what it cost me and the lessons I've learned so that you don't make those same mistakes. So a few months back, I was in between executive assistants and I thought, hey, I can do it. It's no big deal. Until I get a new executive assistant, I'm going to hire and fill some of the other positions on my team. So what I did is I hired a couple of inside salespeople. I have a social media manager on my team. We have some fulfillment folks and other people on the team. I hired those people and I started personally managing them. Huge, huge mistake. I mean, every freaking video on this channel, I talk about the fact that you gotta hire an executive assistant. That is the most important position on your team because that person handles all of the crap. They handle all the administrative work, the scheduling, the email, the voicemail, so that you're not bogged down as the business owner to do that stuff. And by the way, you can click the link below to grab my ultimate executive assistant hiring guide for free. It's a huge template, tells you everything you need to do, 90-day plan, standard operating procedure, all that jazz. All right, so I needed to follow my own advice. Man, I wish I could go back in time, but I can't. So anyway, lesson learned, I'm gonna share with you. So I hired all these people. I started managing them. I started overseeing them, and I am terrible at that. I'm not a good manager, and neither are you probably if you're an entrepreneur and a business owner. What I'm good at is making the deals happen, getting on the phones, talking to people, negotiating deals, going out and seeing people and clients, networking, building the business, working on the business, not in the business, which is what we as entrepreneurs should be doing. What happened was, and these things kind of happen slowly, and then they happen quickly. I started managing all these people. They probably weren't getting the results that I wanted because I wasn't overseeing it as well as I should be. My social media manager is great, but we weren't tracking the things that get us results. How many impressions are we getting? How many calls are we booking? Things like that. And so I woke up 4 months later, still no executive assistant, and all of these systems basically turned to shit. No results, or few results, I should say. We're still getting results, but not the results we want. And a slowdown in all of the things that I need to keep that business growing. Why? Because I started having to do all that crap that I'm not good at, nor should I be doing. It is not the highest and best use of my time, overseeing people, managing, and all of this kind of stuff. So what did this cost me? I mean, at the end of the day, I can't tell you, but this could be costing you millions of dollars if you don't have an executive assistant, because what it cost me is probably 4 or 5 months of time going backwards instead of going forwards, a ton of money shelled out to inside salespeople and social media manager and all this kind of stuff. And she's, my social media manager is fantastic. She'll be here and we'll continue growing. But at the end of the day, we could have been in a completely different place today versus 4 or 5 months ago, had I just followed my own damn advice, man. Okay, what's the plan going forward for me, and what's the good learning lesson for you? So first and foremost, I put my foot down. The inside salespeople didn't work out, so we are moving on from that. And the reason they didn't work out, I'm not blaming it on them. I'm blaming it on me. I didn't have an executive assistant. Because when I have an executive assistant, what happens is I only have to manage one person. So for you, what that means is instead of overseeing, 5 people, 6 people, 10 people, oversee one person, and then that person oversees your team. Now you can't oversee multiple departments, stuff like that, but just start with one. So what that means for me going forward is before I make any other hires, I am hiring an amazing world-class virtual executive assistant. Again, you can grab my free Ultimate Executive Assistant Hiring Guide down below. It's got everything you need to do it yourself, or if you want us to help you over at All Star VAs, which is my full-service virtual assistant staffing company, you can also book a call using the link in the description. So I'm going to hire an amazing executive assistant first. We're going to get that person onboarded, trained up, using my standard operating procedure that's in that guide and off and running so that she can handle all of the other people that we hire, and then we're going to rebuild that inside sales team. We're going to make sure that my social media manager is focused on all the metrics, the activities, the results. We're getting the impressions we need. We're booking the calls that we need, making the sales, and growing the business so that I can focus on the fun stuff that I love doing. Networking events, appointments, calls, getting on those phones, talking to people, and really, like I said, working on the business. So for you, what does this mean for you? Well, it's really an easy process. If you do a quick evaluation of your organization, I just want you to ask yourself a very simple question. Do you have an amazing executive assistant? So if you don't, I'm not saying fire everyone, I'm not saying move on, but what I'm saying is until you get that person in place that can manage everyone else, that can really oversee this thing, you're never going to grow to the level you can, and you're going to miss out and you're going to lose out on potentially millions of dollars of revenue, and you are going to be stuck doing all that crappy stuff that you don't want to be doing. Let's be honest, right? So look at your organization. Do you have an amazing executive assistant? If you do, just do a little audit. Again, with the guide that's in the description, you could see, hey, is my executive assistant doing all the tasks that she or he should be doing? Is it all working out great? If not, do a little evaluation. Also ask yourself, how many people are you managing? How many people are you leading? How many people are you directly overseeing? I think, I got this from Gary Keller when I was in the Keller Williams organization as a franchise owner, that you typically don't have the bandwidth to oversee more than 5 direct reports, rule of 5. And so if you're overseeing more than 5 people, you probably need a leader there that can then take over that part of your organization so that you can have less people that you're directly overseeing, because you just don't have the bandwidth. So do a quick audit of your organization, of your business. Now, if it's just you, that first hire should be an executive assistant. Again, and if you want a full step-by-step guide on how to do that, then you can also check out this video here, and hopefully don't make the mistake that I made.